So good morning, everybody. Here we are on the Friday. This is Friday, Friday, and we're reading through the what's left of Amos. And here we find some extraordinary stuff that is happening. Three times the Lord showed to Amos his plan of what he was going to bring against Judah, and Amos saw that and interceded and cried out on behalf of Judah and said, "No, this will utterly destroy Judah," and the Lord relented. Now, I don't know where you are on how mind-blowing it is for you to think that our prayers can change the plans of God, can change His mind. But Amos isn't the first incident that we have of that. We have it throughout. I mean, one of the ones that really stands out for us is Moses. The number of times that Moses had to intervene for Israel, where the Lord was just upset with them and was going to destroy them, and he intervened. And then when the Lord was going to send them out without him, and again, Moses intervened. And we know Abraham, when he was praying and for Sodom and Gomorrah, and God would have relented in his judgment. And who knows what would happen if Abraham had kept going, but that's besides the point. But it just amazes me because so often we have an Old Testament prophet type of mentality when it comes to judgment and disasters and such. And we live in an age of grace. So if Amos understood the ability or the relationship that he had with the Lord, that he could intercede and change the Lord's mind on something, how much more us who live in this age of grace. And it really disturbs me when so often I hear prophets who are supposed to be this age of grace prophets acting as prophets of old, acting like Old Testament prophets, and even worse than Old Testament prophets, just bringing judgment and condemnation. When the Lord said, "Hey, I haven't come to take life; I've come to save it." And we have this mentality where we don't understand this, that we aren't here to condemn, we aren't here to tear down, we aren't here to destroy, we aren't here to call down the fires of heaven. We're here to intercede, we're here to fight. That's why we're here to fight for these people that the Lord loves. And I'm just thinking of the story that I was told of a prophet who was he was in a part of the world and he wasn't being received very well, and he said when I leave here, there's going to be an earthquake. That's God's judgment on you because of the way that you received me. And there was an earthquake after he left. But just because prophetically he had foreknowledge of what was going to happen, doesn't mean that he handled it right. Doesn't mean that he dealt with it in the proper way. Instead, he should have called out. He should have called the church to pray, to intercede for that part of the world. That the Lord would intervene and head off the disaster. And we've seen it. We've seen it when the church in the Philippines stood on the beaches and prayed against the mighty storm that was coming towards them, and the storm turned away. We've seen with case after case of people who have the right mindset, who understand the necessity to fight for people, to come against strongholds, have averted great disasters. And then we have these people who just who are called as prophets, but who mishandle the office and think they're in a place of calling out judgment instead of fighting for people. And that's where we are. I don't want to be involved with the prophetic and then turn around and mishandle it. Like, we've got to see that we are here to fight for people, to encourage them, to help them overcome, and to break through in salvation, the breakthrough into the Lord's glory, to break through in all these things that He wants them to have. So let's be those kind of prophets, shall we? You be blessed. Have a great day.